Hello everyone, today we're going to be making this mango and cream cake, which is honestly the perfect summer dessert. So to start off, these are the ingredients you're going to need for the cake. Grease and line an 8-inch round pan and set that aside. Then to your flour, you're going to add in the corn flour and mix that with a fork or a whisk. Preferably you can sift this, just make sure it is lump free. Then to your butter, you're going to add in the milk and mix that in. Also make sure you have separated the egg whites and the egg yolks. So firstly, you're going to start off by beating the egg whites on high speed. Please don't be like me and use a bigger bowl because I did have quite a tough time using a small bowl with this. Now you're going to gradually add in the sugar while you're beating the egg whites. You can also stop beating and add the sugar if the sugar is flying everywhere. That's what I did later on. After all the sugar is added, keep beating till you have soft peaks forming in the egg whites. Now once that is done, add in the egg yolks and beat them in as well. Then also mix in the vanilla extract. You can also add in mango extract if you want to, but I did not have it, so I skipped it. And once that is mixed in, you can switch to a spatula. You can see the egg mixture is so light and fluffy. Now you're going to add in the flour, and I highly recommend sifting it. I was just a bit lazy, but it's definitely easier to mix it in if it is sifted. You're going to fold it in very gently using the spatula. After it has mixed in a bit, you can add in the remaining flour. And continue folding it in lightly. Halfway through, you're also going to gradually add in the butter and milk mixture and continue folding everything in till you have a smooth batter. If you have any lumps, you can just press them at the side of the bowl and break them and continue folding. Once your batter is smooth and ready, you can add it to your pan. I also placed a tray under the pan because I was using a springform pan and I did not want the batter to leak out. And then you're going to tap this gently on the counter to get rid of any air bubbles so that there are no bubbles in the cake. And then you're going to bake this in a preheated oven at 180 degrees Celsius for 25 to 30 minutes. Make sure to check at 25 minutes because you do not want to overbake this or the cake will become dry. A skewer or toothpick inserted in the center should come out clean just like that. And then you're going to let the cake cool completely. Now meanwhile, we can make the sugar syrup. So these are all the ingredients you're going to need. Making this is very simple. You're just going to add water and sugar to a vessel. Also, do not stir this with a spoon because it can cause the sugar to crystallize. So I just shake the vessel with my hand. And then turn on the flame and keep it on low flame and let it come to a simmer. And cook this for about 8 to 10 minutes till the sugar has dissolved and your syrup will be ready. Then turn off the flame and let this cool completely. Now it's time to make the whipping cream and frost the cake. You can use 1 cup whipping cream here, but I have used 2 packs of Bluebird whipping cream powder. In both cases, you're just going to whip it on high speed till you have stiff peaks. If you're using whipping cream, just add the sugar while you're doing this. Once you have stiff peaks, you can add in your yellow food color and mix that in. I recommend using a powder food color instead of liquid because liquid can make the cream runny. And then you're going to mix in the sugar in the end if you're using a whipping cream powder like Bluebird. And then you're going to refrigerate this for a while, especially if you're using a whipping cream powder. Also make sure to peel and chop your mangoes and keep them ready. Now it's time for the fun part. Run a knife at the sides of the cake to loosen it up. And then remove the cake from the pan. Since I've used springform pan, it was quite easy to do this. I also like to place the cake on an upside down plate so that it's easier to cut the cake. And then you're going to divide the cake into 2 layers. Now here I have used this interesting instrument that I've found to cut the cake. I will leave a link of this down in the description box if I do find this on Amazon. But I find this quite easy to use if I want to cut the cake into layers. And then you're just going to keep the top layer onto a plate. I line the plate with plastic wrap so that it does not stick. And you're also going to keep the bottom layer on the plate you want to frost the cake on. Soak both the cake layers with the sugar syrup you have prepared. Make sure to soak them thoroughly because you want them to be nice and moist. Then you're going to spread a layer of whipped cream on the bottom layer. You can add as much or as little as you like. And then place some chopped mango on top. As you can see, I went quite crazy with this, but I love mangoes so much, so you cannot blame me. And then you're going to place on the top layer and cover the entire cake with the whipped cream. And you do not really need to be perfect with this. I also cleaned up the sides of the plate with a tissue paper. And then I frosted on some stars using a star tip. This is optional, but I just had extra whipping cream. And place some chopped mangoes in between. You can honestly decorate the cake however you want to. I decided to stick some flaked almonds on the side as well. Even white chocolate would go really well with mango. And I also added on some blue and yellow sprinkles because I thought they really looked pretty with the yellow color. And your cake is ready. I highly recommend refrigerating this cake overnight because it tastes so good chilled. I only chilled mine for about an hour because I was so impatient. And then you can slice it and eat your cake. This cake looks so satisfying on the inside. Just look at all those mango pieces. I just lost myself eating this cake. It is just so good. It's super moist and fluffy and pairs so well with the juicy mangoes and the light whipped cream. I would say this is my perfect summer dessert. If you do try this cake, let me know in the comment section how it turned out for you, and also tell me what other summer treats you like to make. I'll see you soon with a new recipe. Take care and stay safe. Bye!